Ladies and gentlemen, this is MetaJix, and welcome back to another review and recap for Dragon Ball Super on episode 97. This time, we're going to be starting the Tournament of Power, and I tell you, this one was a doozy. Once this match started, it's hard to keep track of everything, so please excuse me if I jump around a bit. So, the episode starts with a little bit of a recap on the last 5 or 6 episodes, the build-up of the Tournament of Power. They kind of go over the teams real fast, they go over a few things here and there. Nothing we've not seen before. We do go over the rules again with the Daishenkan, or the Grand Priest. He reminds all the fighters, as an announcement kind of a style, that once you fall off the ring, you're eliminated. There's no flying unless you have wings, you have some natural ability to fly. The technique using your ki to fly and or float, it will not work on this ring. So he goes over all the rules. He lets them know that that giant pillar in the middle of the ring is actually the time clock. So as time winds down, it's going to get smaller and smaller. It will drop down into the ring. And once that tower becomes level with the ring, the match is over. He says it's going to last 100 tacks. And Krillin kind of says, what are tacks? And Piccolo reminds him, look, it's basically 48 Earth minutes. So we got 48 minutes to basically have this 80-man brawl. And they go over the rules again, like I said. Grand Prix says, all right, time for the tournament to start. And he hits the gong, and chaos erupts. All the fighters start charging towards the center. Now, of course, before the match started, Gohan does remind everybody, look, we got to use teamwork to survive. Put your back to everybody. Protect your flank. Don't fall out of formation. We'll be okay. As soon as he says that, Frieza doesn't really pay him any mind. Vegeta kind of scoffs. Goku doesn't say anything. And then 17 to 18 don't really seem to like that idea either. So back to the tournament. All these fighters are converging. They're doing ki blast, fighting hand to hand. I mean, this is where it gets insane. It's so random and so sporadic. I couldn't keep track, and there's so many fighters going around with so much power. It's hard to scale who's stronger than the other besides the characters we already know. Some universes that have not been covered, like Universe 6 and Universe 4, each of them has their own unique style of fighting, and I'm sure once we go down the road, next few episodes, we'll see a lot more of that power come to fruition. So the tournament starts, everybody's fighting. Goku immediately just kind of bounces off. He sees Toppo, and he takes off. I was a little surprised. I wasn't surprised, really. Goku, he just wants to fight. He doesn't care about anything else but fighting. So he bounces out, and then right after he does that, Frieza kind of bounces out himself, as well as Vegeta, Android 18, and Android 17. They all leave, which leaves Gohan, Krillin, Piccolo, Tien, and Master Roshi standing there, and they still stick to the plan. They kind of keep defensive, and they don't get attacked at first. Goku sees Toppo. He jumps forward, charges Toppo to finish what they started. And that green-looking spy, I forgot what universe he was from, but he jumps in front of Goku. They start going at it. They start kicking each other, fighting each other, ki blast going back and forth. So Goku's trying to make his way to Toppo, but he keeps getting interrupted, this time by that spy, which I think might be one of the better fighters from that universe. Anyway, going forward, you see Vegeta fighting somebody in his base form. Frieza, he's just popping off blasts left and right. He's not really aiming. He's just loving all this conflict. He also made a comment that the Dangerous Trio, Bergamo, Basil, and Lavenda, he states that he notices that they have like an evil aura around them, or he loves their bloodthirstiness. I think that's what they said. He can tell they're bloodthirsty, and he admired that, even though it's not going to affect how he feels towards them. But he's just blasting people left and right. He's not really caring. Android 17, he went off to fight somebody. Android 18, she's squaring off with one of the female Pride Troopers from Universe 11. And it's just insane. You guys have to watch this episode. If you have not seen it yet, please go watch it. Do yourself a favor. If you didn't really think Dragon Ball Super was really doing a lot lately, it's doing plenty now. If you're not enjoying Dragon Ball Super at this point, then I don't know why you're watching this show. It's complete insanity. But going forward again, they're going back and forth. They're fighting. Basil, one of the Dangerous Trio, he's the one that has that kind of neck scarf, and he does all the kicks. He's one that squared off with I believe he squared off with Boo. Yeah, he fought Boo in the exhibition match. He is just going left to right. He eliminated the first person from the tournament. It was this girl with like butterfly ears, so she could fly, and she does some bright, flashy blue attacks at him. He's having none of it. He's deflecting with his legs like it's nothing. He does these key attacks from his legs, and they seem to stack on the person he's attacking. So if he fires one, they're blocking it, and it's still remaining almost like a key struggle. And then he kicks another, and he knocks her out of the ring. She falls, and they kind of dramatize this a little bit. So they see her falling, screaming, and all of a sudden she stops and she inverts, and all of a sudden she's sitting next to her god, and next to her universe. So when you fall off the ring, you don't die. You just get transported to the bench so you can watch the rest of the match. And once that happened, the Grand Priest, he looked over to the Omni Kings and he said, "All right, time for the God Pads." And they get these little iPads pop up in front of them, and it has almost like a dial. And you can pick which universe, and it shows all the fighters from that universe. So they can kind of keep track of who's who and who's from where and who's left. So they go into a universe whatever he was from. They hit his name and his picture, and then she's gone. She darkens out, so she's eliminated. So we have some more combat going on, and tell you, Basil, he really just he ate a lot of footage in this episode. He had a lot of great moments. He wasn't backing down. He was popping all over the place. He was fighting people left and right. He was also fighting this sumo wrestler looking guy, and he's going back and forth. And he does the same attack to this guy that he did to the girl with the butterfly wings. He does 1, 2, 3 key blasts, stacks him on this guy, and just driving him back towards the edge of the ring. He's about to fall out, but then he digs his knuckles in, and he deflects the shots. And this guy's like a sumo wrestler, almost like the Street Fighter guy, E Honda. And he's having none of it because the Grand Priest states that he is the best fighter of some kind of martial arts style that's exclusive to Universe 10. And he just deflected shot last second, still in the ring, and he's not no pushover, so he's there to stay for a while at least. And that's almost it for Basil. Now, I believe Universe 4 has the technology-based fighters. I'm not exactly sure, so don't quote me on that. But one of the fighters from the technology base, he starts whirling around like a top. And he's got these long arms with these giant fists. And he's spinning around like a top, and he's knocking people left and right. And his whole plan is to basically knock people off the ring before they realize what's going on. So he's spinning as fast as he can. People get knocked left and right. There's confusion. Nobody knows what's going on. And like a boss, Hit just makes an appearance. He comes down and he crushes this guy. He probably uses time skip to coordinate this, but he waits this guy's hand is in just the right moment, and Hit jumps forward and kicks this guy's hand to the ground. Looks like he breaks his hand. And right when he does that, Basil, the other star of the show, he jumps in and he kicks the other hand and crushes into the ground. So it's like this guy's hands were both broken. But this guy gets trashed. He doesn't get eliminated. And one thing the Grand Priest did say is elimination only happens when you get knocked off the ring. And of course, killing's not allowed. But if you get knocked out cold and you're in the middle of the ring and you're not thrown over the edge, you're still in. So you can get knocked out and just lay there for 20 minutes and nobody bother you and nobody messes with you, and you wake back up for round 2, you're good. Because as long as you don't go over the edge in any capacity and you fall, you're still in the tournament. So that's a neat thing. I feel like that'll come into effect later on. Like that might happen to somebody. They'll just get knocked out and they just won't get eliminated. Maybe they'll wake back up and then pick up the fight where they left off. But that's probably not going to happen until way down the road when we have maybe 10 or 15 fighters left and it's really come down to, to universe versus universe. So that we might see that later. We have no idea. There's so much time left because at the end of this episode, they do highlight that only 1 minute has passed. The narrator says 47 minutes are remaining in the Tournament of Power. So this whole episode, almost the entire thing, takes place over the course of 1 minute. So all those inside jokes and memes about 5 minutes left on Namek with the whole Frieza arc, that might be coming back, but you're not going to see me complaining because I don't care if this lasts 50 episodes. Now, that might be a bit long, but I could see this arc lasting maybe 20, 25 episodes if they really want to get their money out of it, because they could stretch it out, make each episode maybe a minute, minute and a half at this rate, because you got to remember, these guys are fighting at breakneck speeds. So all these conflicts and battles are basically happening at the same time. So it makes sense if you really think about it at first. I'm sure as the episodes go on, each episode will eat up more and more of the 48 minutes, or now 47 minutes. But let me go back. Like I said, this spinning guy, he got taken out by Basil and hit. He's not knocked out, but it looks like he's out of commission for the long haul. And his only comment was, failed plan failed. And that's what Omni Kings kind of say, like, oh, they noticed the plan, his plan failed, so we'll see what happens coming forward from that. So that thing happens, and Goku sees Jiren, and he starts going towards Jiren, and before he can get there, this one random guy jumps in front of Jiren to attack him, and Jiren doesn't even move. This guy is cold. I mean, he's stone cold, man. This guy is not scared of anybody. Jiren just stands and stares at this dude. And he jumps in, he's about to attack Jiren, and he just realizes how much of a hoss Jiren is, and he's like, nah, screw this, I'm not going to mess with this guy. So he jumps in, goes to attack, changes his mind, which is probably for the better, and he bails out. He goes somewhere else to fight. I thought that was great, and Omni Kings, they both noticed that, and they kind of make note to each other, hey, keep an eye on Jiren, because he's going to be a contender, which we all know that already. So Goku sees this guy, he jumps forward, and he's ready to fight Jiren, but before he can, this green dude, I don't know what universe he's from, but this built, stacked dude, he jumps up behind Goku, and he grabs him in this reverse bear hug. And he's got Goku, like, in a lock. I mean, this dude is strong. He's got to be. And everybody notices this on the balcony, all the gods' destruction. They're like, oh, Goku's going to go out early. The guy that instigated this whole tournament is going to be eliminated. And this guy, he starts dragging Goku towards the edge. Jiren doesn't do nothing. He doesn't care. He still holds his ground. So Goku's being dragged towards the edge of the ring, and he's basically saying, look, if you pull me over, you're gonna be eliminated too. Think about this. And the guy's like, I don't care. This is all part of the plan. Get rid of you, that's all that matters. And they're getting over to the edge, they're about to jump off, and right as this guy starts to jump, Goku goes blue. He just goes all out, goes Super Saiyan blue, and his aura knocks the guy off of him. That guy falls off the stage, he drops into the ether, and then he appears next to his god of destruction, and all he can say is, plan failed. And, failed plan, that didn't work. And his god is like, well, no kidding. But he's pissed off. But Goku goes blue, and he's hanging onto the edge, like he almost fell down. And he pops himself back up, goes back to base form, and Beerus loses his cool. He's like, Goku, why don't you go blue from the beginning? Go all out. And Goku's like, I'm trying to conserve my energy. And then Whis made sure to notate that he's like, well, conserving your energy is no good if you end up dying and get knocked out early. So, Goku, he let his guard down. He almost paid for it. He came off all right with that. Something else that happened was Gohan, Master Roshi, Krillin, Tien, and Piccolo, they're still left by themselves. And for the most part, they weren't attacked. And all of a sudden, they got 5 or 6 guys surrounding them. And Gohan seems to kind of regret what happened and how in their situation. But Piccolo reminds him, this was the plan. We'll be okay. And all 5 or 6 of their opponents charge at them. And they do some awesome teamwork. This reminded me of the Resurrection F movie, or the Arc, where, some of our side characters had a little more shine. But they all charge forward. All our fighters jump straight up. Tien pops out the Taioken, or the Solar Flare, and he blinds everybody, and then everybody starts doing their signature moves. You see Piccolo popping out a special beam cannon, or Makanko Sapo. Gohan does some he just does some blasts. He doesn't really do a signature move, but he does some strong blasts. Master Roshi charges up a Kamehameha Wave, bulks up, fires that down. Krillin does the Destructo Disc. And all these shots go down and explode and make a big, huge, like a cloud. And they land together, they think they're good, and the dust settles, and all those fighters are still there, and they're all snickering like, we're still here. You're not going to get rid of us that easy. And Roshi he states that these guys, they're not going down without a fight. These guys, they deserve to be here. They're the toughest. It's as tough as they get with these guys. So that's all that happened with them. Nothing really new happened with those guys. The match also highlights again that 17, 18 are fighting different people. Vegeta's still going against this one guy. Frieza is just doing his thing, having the time of his life. And the episode starts coming to a close where Goku's back up on the ring after almost falling, after fighting that, or after going blue when that guy tried to drag him off. And he's suddenly surrounded by 5 or 6 people. Now, 3 of those are the Dangerous Trio: Bergamo, Basil, and Lavender. They're among them, and they're surrounding Goku, and Goku's like, okay, alright, looks like I'm in a tough spot, but that's okay with me. So he squares up, he's ready to fight, and that's basically the end of the episode. Like I said, I'm sorry if I forgot anything, but this episode was insane. If there's ever an episode like this, and I might forget something, please, like I said, watch this episode. Go back and check it out. This thing was insane. So that's basically the end of the episode. That's when Nader kicks in. He starts talking over, saying only 1 minute's passed. We have 47 minutes left in this tournament. And so not all the fighters we're familiar with had action. Kaba, Kale, Caulifla, they didn't have any action. I saw Magetta. He was fighting against Topo. They kind of squared off a little bit. Nothing major, just like lock fists. Let's see. Yeah, Magetta, he had some action. Bergamo, he was among those fighters that attacked the Gohan's group. Nothing big happened there. He's going to be a hard one to take out because Goku had to drag him to the edge of the ring in the Universe 7, Universe 6 tournament. And because he can absorb copious amounts of energy. So I think they stated that any kind of energy that goes into him is like redirected to another plane, or another existence, another place. So he can basically deflect all damage done to him somewhere else. So Goku had to drag him off and just toss him off. That's probably how he's gonna get knocked out. This episode was great. I loved it. I give this almost I couldn't find too many faults with it. Not everybody had action. That's understandable with 80 people fighting. There was a new ending credits song. It was okay. It's not really. It wasn't that catchy to me. I didn't like it that much. The intro song was the same, a few different scenes because they replaced Boo with Frieza. The final one, I kind of prefer Boogie Back. I missed that a little more. The outro song wasn't that great, but it's fine. It might grow on me. Every single one has grown on me. It's basically highlighting every fighter from the tournament. It has little flashbys and side scrolling for all these fighters. We still don't know who all of these people are. We don't have names for a lot of these fighters. So those that are worth knowing, I'm sure they'll say their names later on. Preview for next episode, it's just a whole lot more fighting. Not a whole lot of things are highlighted. Like I said, just go ahead and you guys got to watch this episode. Watch next week. From now on, just make sure you tune into Dragon Ball Super every Saturday. Catch it on Crunchyroll or Verve or whatever website you want to watch it on. I don't promote piracy or anything like that or illegal content downloads, but I really would suggest you guys support Crunchyroll because they don't have to multicast. They don't have to do this cast. They don't have to do it as often as they do because remember before, back in the 90s, we didn't get Dragon Ball or current episodes until years later. So we're lucky enough to be watching these episodes the same time Japan watches them. So it's fantastic. I'm loving it. I want to thank you guys for coming by. If you guys like what you heard, definitely leave a like down below. Hit subscribe. Go and leave a comment. I'd love to talk to anybody else. Anybody that has any comments or any kind of thoughts. If I missed anything, then I'm sorry. If you want to mention it down below, I'd be more than happy to talk about it. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen later on in the tournament, next couple episodes. I believe next few episodes are going to be pretty good. I'm looking forward to what happens next. It's impossible to predict with everything going on. That was proven today's episode. So, great time to be a fan of Dragon Ball Super. Great time to be a great time to be alive. I'll tell you what. So, again, thank you for all your support. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for watching. If you stuck around this long, and I will see you next week, next Saturday, for another review on Dragon Ball Super. And look forward to more content coming along the channel. I've been dumping out a few videos every day or two. So If you guys want to see me review anything else or cover any other content or have any kind of questions, any kind of topics you want me to go over, leave a comment. Let me know, and I'll be happy to cover everything you guys want. So I'm here for you guys. I'm just sharing my love for Dragon Ball and my enthusiasm for everything there is. So, again, thank you for all the time. Thank you for all your support, and I'll see you next time. Later.